We are here with another conversation about National Preparedness Month. We are really coming to the end of the month, but these conversations have been so important and so vital for people to know exactly how they can be prepared. And in communities where you might not be thinking, what should I do next? How can I prepare? How can I keep my family safe? Well, today we are talking to Chief Nolan from the Turkey Heaven Volunteer Fire Department. Thank you so much for joining me this morning and having a few moments to talk about preparedness and how you guys are also making changes so that you are prepared to serve the community better. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Glad to be here. Good morning.
Chief Nolan, you guys had a busy summer. First, let's talk about the big event that happened. Walk me through kind of an event that I've seen on Facebook now that kind of shaped the trajectory of how you guys are even going a step further to implement now more trainings.
So on August the 3rd of this year, actually it started kind of in the nighttime between the 2nd and the 3rd. We received a substantial amount of rainfall, which created, I want to say that there different forecasts had shown us that we received up to around 13 inches of rain. Well, with that, we seen flooding in areas here that we've never seen flooding before. And in the early morning hours, it was just something that this community, this county, that we none of us were prepared to see that amount of flooding. And unfortunately, it was a very first for our fire department. Our fire department has been incorporated and been responding to calls since 2001, and it was very unfortunate for our fire department to have seen the first water rescue for our area, which started earlier that morning. And then, fortunately enough, with that one, there was no injuries. But the second water rescue that we performed had two occupants with the one occupant being able, we rescued him without further injury, and then his passenger in the vehicle ultimately passed away from the floodwaters in the accident, which with us, it has really changed a lot. This fire department has, we've took it serious, and though we've never had to prepare for something like that before, we're preparing in hopes that we never have to respond to anything like that again. But we're going to be ready, or at least try to be more prepared next time.
Right. And I know that that was definitely a very scary situation, not only for you guys, but for people who were watching that rainfall come down so intensely. I know that, they were young guys that were in that situation. So I can't
Yes,
even
ma'am.
begin to imagine. And we have been seeing so much flooding here recently, not just in Cleveland County and Heflin, Alabama, but literally across the Southeast.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you guys, before this situation, did you guys have any training? Because you guys are volunteers, right? So,
So ultimately, through the regular training that we do, we focus the majority of our calls here at Turkey Heaven Fire Department is, of course, vehicle accidents, house fires, your structural fires, power lines down during storms, trees down during storms. So, to be completely transparent and honest, we've never trained on any type of water rescue operations here, and it's just been something that we've never had to worry about before. So, with that, we've kind of transformed into saying, hey, not only do we need to train in this water rescue, but there's other things that we need to train in that maybe we haven't seen yet. And it's not one of these things that this flooding event kind of showed us. It's not one of those things that it'll never happen to us. It was when it will happen to us. So it has really put a fire under each and every one of us. to want to do better, want to train more, want to broaden our horizons. And even after that particular incident, one thing that we've never talked about was airplane crashes. Lord knows, we pray that it never happens here, but we've had training on that now. So we've really just revamped our training. We're trying to focus more on the things of when it may happen rather than, hey, it'll never happen to us, because unfortunately, like you said, the things that we've seen, in the southeast is just things that's been unseen before, especially with flooding and your national weather stuff.
Right. And that is kind of key. And you guys have had now extra trainings, and you guys got received a donation recently. Talk a little bit about a donation that I was like, this is awesome. First of all,
Well,
that is
we're
absolutely great that you guys were able to receive something like that to kind of also push that forward, that next step of how do we prepare for you guys in the community.
So, we've been very fortunate there again, with that type of response. I immediately, being the fire chief, I've been fire chief since 2008, so a little over 17 years that I've been fire chief here. And I'll be honest with you, I've always just tried to, when we had a project, I thought, well, how can we pay for this? We're a volunteer fire department. We depend on tax money and donations. And I'll be honest with you, my brain got to wondering, okay, how can we find the money to come up with this stuff. And I'll be honest with you, this that moment had shook our department enough that each and every one of our guys started digging and thinking and brainstorming as to what they could do to help. And the first donation that we received was one of my officers had went to a company that he works with, and talked to them, and they got on board to help with that donation of two life vests, and they're the rescue life vest, which cost a good bit of money. And then another company that he is working with is going to purchase some more. And since then, we've purchased rope rescue gear. We've purchased, just different things that has allowed us to put this water rescue, and we're not talking about this whole swift water stuff that we're just going to jump in. We're talking about the situations that we dealt with to be more prepared to the situations that we were handed. And so right now we are prepared equipment wise for small water rescue operations, but within the next weeks, within the next couple of months, we're going to be even more prepared, because not only are we going to have all of our equipment, we're going to have training. We're going to have, through the Alabama Fire College, different classes that we're going to take. And I'll be honest, it brings a whole new interest to this fire department. Our guys that are volunteering here, they're just so excited to be able to get into this new venture, and to be able to learn more. And that's what it's all about. Is our community's not that big. We serve about 1,800, 1,900 people. We're 49 square miles in our fire district. But yet, this fire department, what I've seen with these guys is they're wanting to do the very best and provide the very best to this community, whatever it takes, whether it's going and asking people for help to purchase equipment, whether it's doing training, whatever it may be, we're here and we're wanting to do the very best to provide our community the very best.
That is the best thing about first responders. And one of the things that you said that I really loved, it's not really the if, it's when. So you all are prepared now, and you are getting even more prepared for the people that are in your community, the small community that you do serve.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
should they do to prepare themselves for not that if, but the when?
So there again, this incident proved to us that, that there again, that it's not a if, it's a when. This community was never prepared to see what we've seen here. So looking back at that, and looking as what the community could do to prepare, the biggest thing there again, I've said this and I've preached this from the beginning since that incident, is being prepared means that you need to watch the weather. You need to watch, the warnings that comes. Don't think, that just because it hasn't happened before, don't think that it can't happen now. Be prepared with extra clothes. Be prepared with supplies. When especially the flood warnings, be prepared to stay at home. Try not to get out and travel. And if you do, for sure, don't cross floodwaters. But the biggest thing that I see is in the middle of the nighttime like that, be sure that you have different ways of receiving warnings. Have multiple apps on your phone. We're very fortunate with our Cleburne County 911 Center and our Cleburne County EMA Director, Crystal Cavender. We have and I'm looking at my phone here, we have a system here in Cleburne County that's called Everbridge. That our citizens can sign up on and get warnings that way. But not only that, we encourage weather alert radios. We encourage, watching you guys. Y'all are the first line of defense for everybody. Is ensuring that you're just aware, but not only aware that you're prepared to react in the way that you need to in a situation like that.
And that is very great information, especially since you guys have your own countywide alert system. What would you suggest people should do as we get closer to like secondary severe weather season, that you guys are the first ones on the scene in most cases? What do you suggest people should do to kind of prepare in any kind of emergency, not just having those alerts, but what's another thing that people should be able to do?
There again, be prepared with supplies, especially medications, nutrition stuff, things, we live in an area like with this particular incident as well as incident that's coming up in the season that we're coming up with snow and ice that we may deal with prolonged power outage. You may deal with a situation where you can't get out of your driveway because of deteriorated roads or even travel down county roads because of deteriorated road. So preparedness goes, as you said, you made a great point. It goes beyond the alerts and understanding what's going on. Preparedness goes to the point of being able to live in confinement without the world for a few days, whether it be medication, whether it be there again, your nutrition stuff, clothes, generators, things like that, is very key. We're so used to being able just to run up to the store and get what we need, but we really need to be thinking about in these situations that we may not have that ability to go to the store, and we need to prepare by having some stuff on hand.
That's a great answer. Okay, you guys, you said something earlier. You are doing aircraft training. You guys have a lot of things that are in the works. What's one training that you guys are going to be preparing for in the future that you are most excited about?
Oh, I guess the most excited thing that we've got coming is the month of October. We are going to be in a class every Tuesday and Thursday night for emergency care provider training, which touches on basically the medical side of it. It's more of a first aid, more of an in-depth first aid, EMS type training. Um, and my goal is to have each and every member, each and every person that comes and serves this community trained in that discipline, that emergency care provider. So we can know that at the very least that every person here, every person in Turkey Heaven Fire Department, whether it be a medical call, whether it be a vehicle accident, whether it be a water rescue, whether it be an aircraft crash, that we have the basic needs and we have the basic knowledge to ensure that we can care for somebody, medically. And that's one thing. I have an in-house CPR instructor. My assistant chief is a CPR instructor, so we've been very fortunate over the years that we've never lapsed on our CPR certifications or anything like that. But it's hard, in the volunteer fire service, especially across the Southeast. A lot of times you get members to come in that can't necessarily attend trainings, can't necessarily devote a lot of time to different things, and they just show up to basically be just a person to help when somebody asks them to help. But one thing about us is I'm very proud of is that once we get this training, it's the first step to more training that we can bring in, more certifications that we can bring in, that we can just keep adding off and building to this. There again, I'm going to, and I stand firm, and I tell my guys here all the time that it's my goal, and it's the goal of Turkey Heaven Fire Department to be the very best in our community, to be the very best not only in the state but in the Southeast. And that's what we're trying to do, is do the very best. That way we can serve our county.
And I think you guys are well on your way. Chief Nolan, is there
Thank you.
anything else you would like to add about National Preparedness Month or what's happening in Turkey Heaven?
The biggest thing that I want to add is the very fact of take this serious. If whether it be, your preparedness, take that serious. If you live in a community that is served by a volunteer fire department, go down and knock on their door. Go down when they're having meetings. Go down and talk to them and ask them what you can do to help them. Because I'm here to tell you, a volunteer fire department relies on their community, whether it be financial or whether it be a simple prayer. Or whether it be, we've seen here, it could be just something, a gift to them as a dinner one night. So, that makes a huge difference in the community. But most of all, it makes a huge difference in letting your first responders know that you support them, that you're behind them. So being prepared, it goes well beyond, well beyond your community and the people who live in the community. With the support, the community support, it helps fire departments be prepared. So that's my recommendation. Take everything serious. Take national weather serious. Take supporting your first responders serious. Hey, if you live and you're blessed in a community that you have a paid fire department, go up there and tell them thank you. Go up there and pat them on the back, because I want to tell you something, they deserve it. And that's the biggest thing. Let's just, in national weather, let's take it serious. And let's just help one another get through it.
That is great advice, helping one another get through it. Chief Nolan, thank you so much, not only for volunteering to speak to me today, but
Thank
for
you.
your service and for being first on scene and first to be there for all of us. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.